Learn to make money online the right way. You're listening to the Create Profits Online podcast with the dude that puts more glide in your stride, more pep in your step. And if you don't dig this mess, you got the wrong damn address. From the back of the shack, getting down to the nitty-gritty in the big city, here's your host, Todd Snively. And he's looking damn pretty. Let's go.
Hello, everybody. Let's go is right. Todd Snively here. And I know we're all about talking about creating profits online, and I have a very long track record of making money with e-commerce, but we're going to switch it up a little bit today. I want to talk a bit about crypto. And before you lose your mind and click off this this podcast, let me just say that we're going to talk about kind of the nasty underbelly of crypto today. And specifically, we're going to talk about a recent Department of Justice action that was just announced against the CEO of a company called Mining Capital Coin for a purported, because nobody's guilty yet, a purported cryptocurrency mining and investment platform $62 million fraud scheme. We're going to talk about that a little bit because I want people to kind of wake up a little bit. First of all, I'm neither pro or con crypto. Crypto is crypto, and full disclosure, I stay far away from it for lots and lots of reasons. But I want to shine the light a little bit on this recent fraud scheme and then talk about something that's going on currently right now, which I believe is another huge potential, and in my opinion, and all legal disclaimers aside, a fraud scheme. But it's possible. I'll let you guys be the judgment or have the judgment on this one. It's possible these guys don't even know they're doing a fraud. All right. And if that's even a potentiality, then you got to throw that out there. And I'm not looking to throw anybody under the bus specifically. Well, maybe I am. But again, I want to stress that everything I'm talking about today is my opinion, because these people that I'm going to get to a little bit later on after we talk about the current fraud scheme indictment, we'll talk about what people are doing right now and how you have to be careful. So first of all, let's turn our sights toward the mining capital coin fraud scheme that was just indicted. And then, like I said, we'll talk about what's currently going on, one of the hugest program launches out there that has potentially crossed some lines. You be the judge. I'm not lawyer. I'm not anything. All this is just as my opinion. I'm not out to defame anybody. I'm just trying to provide the other side of the coin. See what I did there? The other side of the coin for you. So first of all, the Department of Justice comes out and they announce this indictment against Luis Capucci Jr. He's a 44-year-old man out of Port St. Lucie, Florida. He's also the CEO and founder of this mining capital coin. The indictment claims that what he did was mislead investors about their cryptocurrency mining and investment program. They're basically saying that investors could invest in his company by purchasing these mining packages. And under this program, Capucci and his co-conspirators basically said that they had this international network of cryptocurrency mining machines and that they were able to generate substantial profits and they guaranteed returns by using investors' money to mine new cryptocurrency. So, this is getting more into the realm of the actual mining activity. And for those of you that aren't up on crypto, I have been approached left and right, a lot of cold approaches on social media from people wanting me to buy crypto mining equipment and touting about how much money you make and all of that. And all of the experts that I did some research on basically said this mining thing is pretty well dead. And unless you're willing to invest millions of dollars basically in hundreds, if not thousands of high-end computers and incur the wrath of the electric company bill, for doing that, mining just isn't where the money is. So what these guys basically did is say, they operated this fraudulent investment scheme, and they did not use investors' fund to mine new cryptocurrency as promised, but instead they diverted the funds to cryptocurrency wallets that were under their control. So anytime you get out there and just start lying about making money, just flat out committing fraud, taking these trading bots and calling it an additional investment mechanism to invest in the cryptocurrency market, that's only going to last so long. I mean, something like that is designed to drain money from people's wallets and give no real returns at all. And they basically got caught in a bunch of lies, which turned into fraud because people lost money. They claimed, Capucci and his company, that they had joined with these top software designers in Asia, Russia, and the US, and they created this improved version of a trading bot that was tested with new technology never seen before. Okay, at that point, I'd be running for the exits already. I mean, just this kind of language should just send up the red flags. Unfortunately, there's a percentage of the population that wants to hear this. That's what they want to hear. They want to believe it's true, and so they throw their good, hard-earned money into basically a fraud. Now, this reminds me, I started trading myself back in 1994, and I went right into the future markets. And what was interesting is when I was learning how to trade the future markets, I became aware of all of these programmers out there that wanted to sell me a quote-unquote system. And a system is basically a set of rules that you would follow and historically make money with, and then the supposition was you could make money in the future with it also. Now, I used a piece of software called TradeStation, and honestly, I haven't traded since 2002, so I don't even know if TradeStation exists, or there's got to be something else out there, though, some sort of charting software. Well, anyway, back in the day when I was doing it, it was TradeStation. And these software programmers would create these trading systems. It was a coded system that they would sell to you. You would upload it into your TradeStation, activate it, and then follow the trade signals. And again, the idea was this thing has made a lot of money in the past. Therefore, it stands a really good chance of making a lot of money in the future, even though they give you that same old disclaimer, past results are not indicative of future results. But nobody reads that. They just want the shortcut to success. And back then, it was programmatic trading systems for both stocks and commodities. And again, I haven't really looked at this stuff since 2002. There could be this whole industry still out there. But most of these trading systems sold for $3,000 on average. Matter of fact, I would say a good number of them actually sold for $3,000. And eventually, there came this thing known as the $3,000 Club. And this was basically a bunch of guys who had invested $3,000 in one or more trading systems and lost money. And hence the $3,000 Club came about on a forum. And people would commiserate and talk about why these trading systems failed. Well, I can give you a little insight on why one of the systems I purchased in particular failed, because I got to know the programmer. Got to know him really well, matter of fact. And he eventually flat out told me that he basically programmed the past history to eliminate most of the losses, especially the big ones. They can't eliminate all of them because then it looks too good to be true. So they just eliminate the big ones. And you look at that and say, oh, well, I could ride out these tiny little losses that he's showing. I'm going to buy this system and trade it. Now, remember, once the historic trading performance has been altered programmatically, that's a fraud. You basically lied to somebody in order to get $3,000 out of them. But 9 times out of 10, people didn't really complain to these system sellers because they understood the risks and they've never really been successful before anyway trading. And so they figured, well, why would a system make the difference? It must be me. I must just be a bad trader. And the fact of the matter also, to muddy the waters even a little further, is that most people wouldn't follow the system exactly anyway. Because when it said buy, you had to go not only buy, but hope to get the price that it told you to buy at. If it said sell, you had to physically go and place a sell order and hope you got the price that it told you to sell at. If you paid a little more when you bought and got a little less when you sold, you made way less profit than what the system was basically booking, because it was booking the buy at the buy price signal and the sell at the sell price signal. And there's this little thing called slippage. There's actually a few things, but one of them is called slippage. Basically, that's nothing more than paying higher than you wanted to for the buy price and getting less than what you wanted on the sell price. Now, the reason there's some slippage is because of a couple of things. I'm not going to get too technical here, but something called a volatility and the bid offer. So basically, when you want to buy, there are bids in the pit and there are offers to sell, bids to buy. If you're outside of the pit, if you're not a member of the exchange, you can't buy at the bid normally, and you sure can't sell at the offer. You're going to buy at the offer and sell at the bid. So if you placed a trade immediately, you're going to get it for higher than market. And if you turned around and sold it immediately, you're going to get it sold at lower at market. That's just the way the market works, the way it worked back then. So in any event, a lot of these systems are just overinflated with the results because of slippage and the bid offer. Okay, enough of that silliness for right now. Let's get back to Capucci here in his fraud. He basically is alleged to have recruited promoters and affiliates to promote MCC and its various investment programs through this multi-level marketing scheme. And this was a pyramid scheme. So for successively luring an investor to invest, Capucci promised his network of promoters and affiliates a range of gifts. Everything from Apple Watches to iPads to luxury cars like Lamborghini, Porsches, and he even put up his own personal Ferrari. So basically, here's another aspect that really bothers me about something like this, even if it was legitimate. Now, I'm going to take that back. When it's illegitimate, is this aspect of affiliates for promotion. He didn't have the wherewithal, let's say, to get out there and reach a huge audience. So he recruited these affiliates who had audiences to go out and promote the scheme on his behalf. Now, whether they knew it was a scheme is really irrelevant. All right. The fact of the matter is he was running the scheme. The affiliates, though, if you think about it, most of them weren't in on the program themselves. They were just basically telling people to buy it. Now, in and of itself, that is not a problem or even an issue per se, but it's something to understand that when you're looking at making an investment in something that somebody's pitching you, you need to understand why they aren't in it. Now, there's a lot of affiliate programs out there where people aren't members, but they're promoting it correctly and they're giving you the right information and along with all of the necessary warnings that should go along, but not in this case. They basically said you can't lose your money, you're going to make a certain percent, and then again, they incentivize the affiliates to get out there and really push it with this range of gifts and of course a lot of money. No doubt about that. So this particular case should serve as a warning to anybody out there that wants to illegally capitalize on this perceived ambiguity of the crypto market to take advantage of innocent investors, and I'll say just innocent people. This is your warning. The crypto and people promoting crypto programs, these are on the radar of the Justice Department. Capucci, he's charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud, conspiracy to commit securities fraud, conspiracy to commit international money laundering. Now, if he's convicted of all of those counts, he faces a maximum of 45 years in federal prison. That's a lot of years. Now, why did this story catch my eye when I'm really not a crypto guy? And it kind of segues into what's really it's got me bothered. Now, first of all, I understand marketers. I've been a marketer almost my entire life. And I understand that sometimes even really good marketers, they cross lines. They just consider it part of the business. I don't like that. Okay. If you have to cross lines between lies and the truth, you shouldn't be opening your mouth. You should just keep your mouth shut. If you can't sell your steaming pile of crap without lying about it, you're probably committing a fraud. Now, why do so many marketers get away with this? It's because the Justice Department really isn't interested in small numbers. They're after the big fish. And the bigger the fish get, the more attention, the more light gets shined on it, the more interest the Justice Department is going to show in what you're doing. Now, sometimes the Justice Department can act very quickly because they need to protect the public and they want to stop something, boom. Other times it takes them a little longer to act. This can be because they're gathering evidence talking to witnesses, subpoenaing bank records, and it's all done under the radar. Even the grand juries are usually sealed. This particular indictment that I'm talking about against MCC, mining Capital Coin, was just unsealed recently. So this investigation had been going on, for a hot minute. And they finally just unsealed the indictment and went out and arrested these people, or at least Capucci. I don't know if anyone else got arrested. What's going on right now is one of the largest marketing pushes in the area of marketing in general. There's a lot of courses, a lot of online courses out there. I've written over 50 online courses myself, most e-commerce related, selling on Amazon, even how to create courses. I've written a lot of courses. You got to be really careful with the marketing because you don't want to mislead people. And I tell people all of the time that even if you take my course, there's no guarantee of success because it's more up to you than me. I mean, if 10 people take my program and 7 are successful and 3 aren't, is that the fault of the program or the 3? Now that's another discussion on another podcast. But right now there's this thing out there being promoted by a gentleman by the name of Dan Hollings, and it's called The Plan. And Dan, I've worked with Dan on things in the past. Dan, I've always thought, was a nice guy. And I still think, I don't want to say he's not a nice guy, right? I don't want to say he's evil or doing anything illegal. That's not what I'm saying. But Dan is basically a marketer. He's an he's a self-described internet super strategist, Amazon expert, and now he says crypto trader. But for the majority of his life, it's mostly internet super strategist and Amazon expert. The crypto trader, I think, again, and I'd have to verify this date, I'm not sure, but I think the crypto trader's only been within the last, 2-3 years where he got interested in crypto. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, he's got this course called The Plan. Now, Dan's worked a lot with, I call them the Rapid Crush guys. I'm not even going to put their names out there. If you know who the Rapid Crush guys are, then you know who I'm talking about. They're marketers, which is what I find so interesting because when Dan came up with this online trading course with crypto called The Plan, you would think he would go to some real crypto experts and say, hey, look at what I got. As a crypto expert, I'd kind of like you to loan some legitimacy to it and help me promote this and then maybe get some marketers involved. But that's not what he did. And this I don't understand this. And again, I'm not that I'm even looking for an answer, but he basically went to some marketing guys, the Rapid Crush guys, who are known for marketing Amazon selling programs. And they've been very, very successful at that. So all of a sudden, now you've got Dan, who's a crypto trader for a few years. And again, that I could be off on that. He could have 10 years experience. I have no idea. But he basically came up with this trading system that they turned into a course, and he went to some marketers and said, help me market this. And market it they did through their own prowess and enlisting hundreds. And again, this number may or may not be accurate. This is just my impression. Hundreds of affiliates. They got the word out there and have sold many millions of dollars. Many millions. It could be 25 million. I've heard so many different numbers about this plan. Now, here's my problem. There's no real risk disclosures for this thing at all. Instead, it's like you can make money when the market goes up, when it's sideways, and when it goes down. I mean, that's their spiel. You can make money no matter what the market does. And to dive into this like a little deeper, they're basically using a trading platform called Bitsgap. And they do a really good job of hiding that, okay, during their marketing presentations. Any screenshot they're showing, they will have the URL for Bitsgap, just redacted out so that you just can't go to Bitsgap after watching their presentation. They want you to buy the program, which is, $3,500, something like that. Now, the fact of the matter is what they're really teaching in their plan, and full disclosure, I'm not a member of the plan. I haven't bought it. All I've done is read about it online, which that's another interesting point. And I don't mean to segue too left and right here on you, rabbit hole after rabbit hole. But if you try to get some information, some legitimate reviews, some real people have used this, and you just try to Google maybe The Plan, Dan Hollings, The Plan, what you're going to get are a bunch of sponsored ads from affiliates and then a bunch of reviews from affiliates. Now, I might be going out on a limb a little bit here, but from what I could tell, and again, this is just my opinion, I didn't really see any honest reviews that were positive that were from non-marketers. I mean, think about it. Why would a student who wasn't being compensated just decide to get online and make some long marketing video for the plan if they weren't an affiliate? So pretty much every positive review that I was able to find by just doing a Google was from an affiliate. And I mean page after page after page, to include YouTube videos, blog posts, articles, everything you can think about, were for the most part, from what I could tell, thinly disguised affiliate marketing. Now, normally, this doesn't bother me if the program itself isn't what I would call ruinous. So, for example, if somebody has a training program for how to make money creating content, well, it's pretty hard to be financially damaged by buying a program like that and implementing it. You might make some money, you might lose a little money, but you're not putting a lot of money at risk. This particular program is really only effective for people that have some money. You know, I think $3,000 is a number that Dan might have thrown out that you should put into a trading account. And of course, you need $3,500 roughly to get started with this thing. So you're already $6,500 at risk. Now, let me talk just for a second about what I don't like about this trading system, other than the fact that it's a trading system. And there's legitimately no trading system out there that's right all the time, nor should anyone guarantee future performance, much less say things like you're going to make money if the market goes up, down, or sideways. It's just not true. I mean, I will literally call that out as an untruth. It's not true. And here's why. These programs are designed to make money in really a sideways market that has some volatility. So what do I mean by that? It's called channel trading, basically. You have a bottom price and you have a top price. And the area between the bottom and the top price is your channel. As long as prices stay within that channel and don't go below it, yes, you can make money trading the channel. Now, unlike futures, with crypto, you can only buy it initially. You can't like short crypto. You can't sell it first and buy it low later and make money by selling high and buying low. You have to buy and then sell. Buy low, sell high. That's the only way to make money trading with these bot systems on platforms like Bitsgap. Okay, so as long as you can buy low and sell high, or the bot does it for you, you're going to make money. And the bots are trained so that and again, this may or may not be the case with Dan's particular bots. I'm just talking now in general, not specifically the plan. But typically, if you buy and the price starts to drop, it's going to buy some more. It's dollar cost averaging. So basically, if/when the market rebounds, you don't have to have it rebound as much to get out at break even, because you bought at one price, then it dropped, you bought at another price. If it comes back halfway and you sell both those positions, the loss from the first trade and the profit from the second trade, they cancel each other out. Maybe you lose some commission, right? But theoretically, you didn't lose anything. That's what dollar cost averaging can do for you. Now, here's what really chaffs me about the plan and these guys marketing the plan. They don't talk about the fact, or if they do, it's very low key. And to me, it's like the most important thing you need to know. If trading in a range and you drop below the bottom range, the system is usually designed to close out all of your open trades. All of that buying on the way down is now closed out, and you have what is called a realized loss. That money is now out. It's no longer a paper loss, just numbers on your daily reporting. It's a true loss. So let me clarify that a little further. Let's say you started with a $5,000 account, a trading account, and you load up the bots, right? You tell the bots to go do their thing according to whatever system you're following. And It goes down and down and down and down. It keeps buying on the way down. And finally, it hits the bottom of the range where it's programmed to close out all of the open buy orders with an equal number of sell orders. It took a loss on every single buy down. So the $5,000 you started with, if you had a $2,000 loss, your account will now say you have $3,000. That $2,000 is gone forever. So if you wanted to trade with a $5,000 account, you would have to put another $2,000 in. Otherwise, now you're trading with a $3,000 account. And this can be very, very important, because when you have less money in your account, you have a less of an ability to withstand this, I call it drawdown, this losing trade activity. You just can't stay in as long because you don't have as much money in your account, and you can get pushed out early, and eventually you're just done. All right, so what happens? How does Dan address this issue of the trading below the floor? Once it breaks through the floor, what does he say? Oh, no big deal. Just move your trading band down, and it'll just start trading again in that range. But he doesn't really say, and again, maybe I'm wrong on this, but he didn't really say that you realize the loss at that point. He doesn't talk about really losses at all, because he just likes to talk about people that are making money, whether they are or not. I don't have any proof of that, except they seem to like to show a few wins. I mean, they'll go live and then let their bot go free, and yeah, it's going to have some winning trades, but a winning trade over a short period of time means nothing. Long-term trading can be, especially with a system like this, can be like gambling in Las Vegas, because there's an edge. There's an edge, all right? And you don't even have to understand the edge. Just know there's an edge that's against you. And you do not gain an edge by using a system, because all systems, after a certain period of time, will lose. There is no one system out there that's just going to keep winning and winning and winning and winning, despite what some internet marketers say. So wake up. Wake up about this stuff. Am I telling you not to trade crypto? Of course not. Am I saying don't use Bitsgap? Of course not. If you go into the forums, you'll find lots of people that have traded on Bitsgap and they're making money. So there's nothing wrong with trading per se. Not at all. You just have to be really, really careful. I mean, I did some research and can find that there's a lot of people out there, like in the forums, that are losing money with the plan. Absolutely just losing money. But this isn't what you're going to hear on a webinar. All right, you're going to just hear the good stuff and all of the risk. And even if they know of somebody that lost money doing this, it's all going to be glossed over and not discussed, because that doesn't sell programs. And a lot of people, not me, like I said, because I really haven't researched this part of it so much, but a lot of people have basically said, you don't need this program. You just go to Bitsgap and it teaches you right there for free how to automate your crypto trading with powerful bots. So if you want to do bot trading, save the $3,500, stick it in your pocket, and go learn through the place they're going to send you to anyway. You know, there's this old saying. This is what it just reminded me of the plan. You know, you got one guy yelling, "Buy the dip." Someone else says, "I already bought it." Then buy it again. But it keeps dipping. Well, then buy some more. And eventually the guy says, "Well, I'm out of money." In a falling market, there's no way that a trading system that's designed to buy and cost average on the way down is never going to make any money. Not when it's dropping. And they just don't spend enough time talking about that at all. It's all just all of the good stuff, all of the positive, all the positive spin that they want to put on these things. So if you want to spend $3,500 and go in with your eyes open and understand that this is as risky as any other kind of trading out there. It's not any safer. Matter of fact, I do like the idea that it's the trading is done electronically, but you still have to remember there's an edge there somewhere, and that this marketplace, whatever platform you're trading on, is not regulated. The United States government hasn't gotten their fingers into it yet, but this is just a matter of time. And just like what happened with the Forex markets back in the day, it was a completely unregulated Wild West, traded 24/7. And the United States government finally passed some laws that allowed, I believe it was the Commodity Future Trading Commission. I believe it was them that got the regulatory approval to oversee the Forex markets. Things may have changed, but I don't think so. But eventually the United States government is going to get involved in the regulation of crypto, and brokerage firms, people are going to have to get licensed, and that's where they get their money from, the fees and maintaining their licenses and all of that. That's how the government's going to make their money, and probably start taxing the trades. And that's neither here nor there. I'm just saying, understand that right now it's all unregulated. But I think my bigger issue is in how this was turned into an affiliate program. And basically anybody that wants to promote it can go out there and promote it and make a 40% commission on the roughly $3,500 fee. So do you think on average an affiliate marketer is really going to care about whether or not down the road people are losing money because of the referrals? Some of them do, some of them don't. Based on what I've seen, and you can just Google the plan, Dan Hollings, the plan, just Google it and look at all of the paid advertising. Look at the people that are doing it. And most of them, if they're saying they're doing it, maybe they are, maybe they aren't. You don't really know. But they're going to tell you how much money they're making, right? So to entice you into buying this. And people that are not invested in it are just going to send the same spiel that the marketers have developed. I'll just tell people this because they want that huge commission. And this is one of the larger launches that I've heard of. I don't know if it's the largest, but it's huge. Like I say, tens of millions of dollars is what I've heard. And they're just not doing it right. And actually, it's not that I hate these guys. I don't. I have followed, like I said, I've worked with Dan Hollings in the past on launches and promoting. I promoted his programs. He's promoted my programs, all very above board. And even the Rapid Crush guys have a long history of just being really, really good marketers. But honest to God, as much as I want to believe that this isn't true, it just seems like to me, and this is my opinion, they've lost their way a little bit. And greed will do that to you. It will make you get out there and just want more and more and more and just milk this program for everything it's worth. And here's my prediction. This is my opinion and my prediction. With the amount of money that these guys have made from this program and the number of people that have bought the plan and the number of people that are going to lose money from this plan and file complaints, there's going to be an indictment eventually handed down. I haven't seen a program that has crossed so many lines. And again, when you get involved with just trading, period, you have so many lines you cannot cross. And I've seen every one of them crossed. I found more comments just kind of sitting here looking online. Someone says, yeah, I paid for the course. This was 3 weeks ago. I paid for the course. I put $6,500 in my account in October 2021. I watched all the videos. I took notes. I subscribed to BitsGap. I did my best to follow the plan. And after putting $6,500 in my account, I now have $1,500. Someone followed that up with, yep, same. I put in $18,000, followed the course. Now I have $12,000 6 or so months later. Then you have an affiliate person comes right out and says, hey, full transparency, I'm an affiliate. But I tried to write my review in such a way to help you be informed about your decision. If you choose to go for it, great. If not, that's on you. That's your decision. But stay informed and do what's best for you. There's no pressure to invest in something that is not a right decision for yourself. That's crazy. When, the Rapid Crush guys, what they're really known for, and this is self-admitted on video after video after videos, they're really good at marketing. They know how to use the psychology. They know what words to say. I was a member of a program of theirs that basically trained you how to do affiliate marketing, and then they gave you affiliate marketing programs to go and promote. Some of them very legitimate. This one, in my opinion, not so much. But what they constantly harp on is their expertise in getting people to buy, to get them across the line, the implementation of all of the selling psychology that they have based on their vast knowledge of marketing to convince somebody to buy. So this affiliate is just delusional to say, hey, that's your decision. Stay informed, do what's best for you. No pressure to invest in something that's not a right decision for yourself. That's like in a perfect world. In the world that we live in, you have to understand that expert marketers are using the little voodoo tactics on you to influence your decision, to prey on your fears, to prey on your greed, to prey on your pain. And this is what you need to be aware of. So when you have page after page of reviews that are just glowing on something like this, that should be a red alert, not a green light. You need to really think about, why are all of these people writing great things about this program? And it can be this program or any other program out there, because when there's a launch, a huge launch in the affiliate marketing world, doesn't matter what it's launching, all of the great affiliate marketers will come out and they'll actually create websites in advance of the launch, concentrating on the keywords that they know people are going to be searching: such and such program scam, such and such program reviews, such and such program complaints. And all you're going to get is positive information infused into the search results by marketers that know what they're doing. That's just nuts. And I've been on both sides of this coin, so I know what I'm talking about. You have to be careful. You can't just say, oh, there's 3 pages of nothing but positive reviews. It must be a legitimate program. No, not necessarily so, because of the expertise that marketers have to be able to manipulate these search results and hide the truth. And the truth is, people have lost a lot of money in this program. And then every single one of them bought in because of the marketing. So just be careful. That's all I really want to say, is be careful. And if you really want to learn how to make money online the right way, there's no super shortcuts. Okay, it's going to take education and some hard work. And trading will always be there, whether it's stocks or futures or crypto. But understand, there's no super shortcut. And that's it. We're done for today with this episode. And I hope to see you next time. Thanks so much.